call, let's say, were to go one way to create a more favorable matchup in a playoff series for a league, to garner more wagers on a potential matchup, don't you think that would create more problems for the league? And then two, can't the leagues just focus on the money that they're going to bring in for advertisers once this, goes?
Listen, the leagues are in trouble right now because here's the bottom line: the Supreme Court decision gave the powers to the individual states.
Right.
The individual states are going to use Vegas as their template, and Vegas has never paid the teams or the leagues anything. Now,
so why do they expect it now, then?
Because they figured this is their chance to make a stab. When now they're calling, if you notice, on on Congress to come up with a federal law. There's not going to be a federal law. It's not going to happen. You're going to get it state by state, and the teams are going to have a hard time. They're going to get shut out. You're going to watch. They're going to try to have to figure out a way to get themselves involved because they are going to get shut out. Now, if I were the leagues, this is what I would do. I would put my money down there on K Street and get the lobbyists going, and I would say, listen, here's what I think you should do. The Fed wants to get involved here. This is how Congress gets involved. They send a message to the states. You don't have to be involved individually. You don't have to put together your own, companies and the own people who will teach you how to do this. You don't have to build the infrastructure. You don't have to do all that. Let us do it federally, and we'll just kick you X number of dollars, and you don't have to do any other work. And that way they can get the teams involved, and they get the nation involved, and they can kick an equal amount of money to each state. The bottom line is the states aren't going to go for it. You have some states that will not be online for gambling at the earliest until 2020, until 2022, because they have to go on their ballots they have to go on the ballot to get it done. This is not going to happen as quickly as people think.
And as far as I'm concerned, if it ever did happen, the integrity fee, the way the leagues want it, it would just muddy the waters. It would just create issues for them.
What are you trying? You're asking for an integrity fee.
And MGM, they're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars.
You're asking for. I don't think they're going to make as much money as you think, but they're going to make money. But you're asking for an integrity fee. What are you telling us, that the games haven't been on the up and ups now? Why do you need an integrity fee? You've been on the up and up the whole time, right? Why do we need you now to come up with an integrity fee? The leagues are on the outside. You know what they're on? They're on the outside glass looking in. They cannot get in the mix right now. Mitch in Manalapan, what's up, Mitch?
Hi. A couple of points on the NFL protest.
Yes.
I think the reason why this is happening, the big reason why it's happening in the NFL and not the NBA, is because the NBA players respect their commissioner. You do have a lot of outspoken players in the NBA, but they respect their commissioner. And there's been a long history with the NFL players and Goodell. There's a lot of animosity. And so that's why when Silver says to the NBA players, you're going to stand for the anthem, they listen, because there's been precedent that he's on their side sometimes.
No, not even an issue. You're 100% right. That is very true. They have been inclusive. They've been brought in. He has been inclusive. He went after Donald Sterling the way they wanted him to. So you're right. He has built up a very good relationship and a lot of trust with the players, while Goodell has none.
And you have a lot of outspoken players in the NBA, but they listen on this. And I think the way to solve this in the NFL, maybe it's too late for this, is because I think what they're protesting for is right. There's a lot of social injustices going on. So I think what the NFL has to say is, all right, you're protesting, we're listening. What do you want us to do in your communities? We'll listen, and if we throw money your way, if we help out your communities, you get what you want. Let's put this behind us.
I've said that from the start. Go to the players and say, hey, tell us how you want us to work in the community. Tell us how you're going to work in the community. Put your celebrity behind it. We'll put our power behind it. We'll put our money behind it. Tell us how we can do it. We'll work in each of our cities. We'll work universally. We'll work individually. Fine. And we go on from there. But you don't have to disrupt our business. And that's what this is doing, disrupting our business.
So it seems like common sense. So why isn't it being done?
Because they didn't know how to deal with it in the beginning, and then because they missed an early opportunity, and when they missed an early opportunity, things fractured. Trump fractured it even more, and then you brought up the point, there's no trust between the players and the commissioner, and there's no goodwill like there is in the NBA. So if the NBA commissioner, if Adam goes to his players and says, trust me, they do. If Goodell went to his players and said, trust me, they'd laugh at him. So there's no there. There's nothing to build on there, and that's why there's contempt, and that's why it doesn't work out. So what you said in the beginning is a very true fact. The players have watched that commissioner act in good faith. They watched as Goodell screwed the older players and beat them out of money on the case about the indigent players and what they were going to be paid in the class action suit. They watched as he discredited a doctor of high standing who they did everything they could to ruin that man's life, even though he was just trying to save lives and to show people what was really going on. It's almost hard to watch what they did to that doctor. Chris in Connecticut, what's up, Chris?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
What's happening?
Hey, I just want to touch on change gears a little bit. I want to touch on the NBA, the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned something before that I can totally agree with. I mean, the Warriors have no respect for the game, their opponents.
It's disgraceful. I can't watch it anymore. They have no respect for anybody.
So unlikable. I mean,
yes.
Draymond has always been unlikable.
They're smug.
And it's funny. You made a point. Curry used to be this young kid,
yep.
changed the game,
yep.
And then you got to watch last night. I hope they lose this series.
He hits
so
a
bad.
shot and he shimmies around the floor.
He's dancing, and Reggie Miller's. Oh, look at him!
Listen, you're showing up your opponent. He sticks his tongue out. He sticks the mouth guard out. He walked off the court that night when they lost that series from 3-1 down, because that night they taunted LeBron James as they left the court.
They said the finals is for men.
It's over. And he said, I'll show you where the finals is. And the bottom line is they have no respect. As you said, they have no respect for the game. They have no respect for their opponent. And the way they acted, I kept saying, all right, I'm watching the fourth quarter saying, yeah, show me the shimmy now when you're scoring 12 points in the fourth quarter. 12 points in the fourth quarter. Can't get a good shot. 12 points in the fourth quarter at home. That is shimmy off the court now.
Now that it's 2-2, the one thing I want to
I don't believe they can. I don't believe they can lose. I don't think they can lose.
No, why? Why?
Because I don't think Houston's good enough. I don't like Chris Paul. I don't trust him.
It's 2-2. They just won.
Well, show me. Show me.
Good, because I hope because
show me. I want them to do it, but you know what? I'm watching last night, and for minutes at a time, I'm watching as they're asking other guys to. Harden and Houston, they are watching as they are making these other guys perform. I mean, Harden needs to take more of a leadership role in these games. You know that?
He wasn't great in the second half. He was good off the start. I mean, he
made a lot of picks. He picked the ball a lot early. He made some clean thefts and made some open court thefts and turned them into layups. Absolutely. We saw the dunk. But you know what? He got into a bad rhythm last night, and he ran away from the ball in the fourth quarter.
He does pout a little, and Paul, who hasn't been great in the series, I will give you, was great last night. But this is the thing. They were down 10.
Paul,
they were down 10
make
going
plays
into the
now.
quarter.
And who made the plays last night? Everybody else made the plays in the fourth quarter. Ariza made the plays. Chris Paul made some plays. Absolutely.
Those were passes from Chris Paul. Yeah, they were passes.
Yeah, but you know what?
They had the chance.
They played tough. You know what? They played tough. And the other kids, the other kids on that team played tough.
Yeah, no, they and that's the thing. If you look at the Warriors, especially if Iguodala's out, his experience and wing defense, like his presence, without him in the lineup, I mean, they basically play five guys, and I'm hoping, because I think the real thing is they wouldn't be near where they are without Durant. I think they're kind of coasting off his greatness and his one-on-one scoring ability.
He's unbelievable.
He's the best.
He's the second best player in the league by a mile. It's LeBron, then Durant, and the only one close to LeBron is Durant, and Durant's the second best player by a mile. But their lack of respect for the sport, their lack of respect for the opponent is just outrageous. They don't care, and they just act that way. I can't stand the way they play. Jeff in North Brunswick. What's up, Jeff?
Mike, thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
Couple things on the national anthem. I love this rule. I think it's long overdue. It should have been in place the minute Kaepernick took a knee. It would have nipped it in the butt. Instead, it became a cancer. And then, once somebody protests, everybody likes to jump on the bandwagon. But the thing that I'm really glad about...
How does this rule solve something, though?
Well, here's the thing. You know what? In sports, especially football, the two things that we need to keep out of it is politics and race. Because sports is the only place where you can go and just get away from all that. That surrounds us every single day of our lives, whether it be at work, whether it be on Facebook, bumping into people. For 4 hours, when you watch a game, you just don't want to think about politics or race or anything else. I mean, can we not have that one little outlet is nothing sacred? And to me, this whole thing became about, and the reason why you asked what can they do in the communities, you really can't, because it's all based on a narrative. And that narrative is that police shoot minorities. And it's really not, it's a false narrative, because when you look at the amount of millions of police stops there are every year, there are millions of people pulled over by law enforcement. And yes, there are some accidents, there are some things that get out of control, but when
listen,
you only
there are
focus
some
on
bad, and there are some bad. Listen, and there are some bad cops, and there's bad shooting, but it's not all cops. It's not all anybody. It's not any gross anybody who's it's not any one anything. There are things that happen, and not everybody's good. Not everybody is someone who should be in that job. Not everybody should be a cop. And just like there are bad everything, there are bad cops. But that doesn't make all cops bad. So, yes, you know what? Nothing's perfect. And you can strive to fix everything. But there's a right way to do it, and there's a place for it, and there's a wrong way to do it. That's all. And we have to agree on that part. And some people don't. We're coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Yankees coming up this evening, I should say, at 6:30 with Sabathia against Furster. I already gave you the Yankee lineup. The Met lineup is as follows. Nimmo, Cabrera, Conforto, Bruce, Mesoraca, Gonzalez. The new G-Man is at third, DeGrom, and then Rosario.